Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're venturing into a story called The King and the Soldier.
Okay.
It seems to be an older narrative, full of adventure, but also these unexpected twists that kind of make you rethink things.
Right, the kind that seem simple on the surface, but maybe aren't.
Exactly. So we'll follow this discharged soldier. He's described as, fearing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this really surprising encounter in a forest. Our goal, our mission, is to sort of look beyond just the plot.
Yeah, to unpack the key moments.
Right, and see what insights this seemingly simple tale might actually hold for us.
It's a good one. Because like you said, it seems straightforward, an adventure story.
Mm-hmm.
But there are these interesting undercurrents, like the soldier himself, fearless, cares for nothing. You have to wonder, is that real bravery? Or maybe just a product of having nothing left to lose?
That's a really good starting point. He's discharged, right? No skills, no money, basically begging.
Yeah.
He's got this old coat, but also these sturdy buffalo leather riding boots. It paints a picture, doesn't it?
It does. A hard life, definitely.
And those boots, they keep coming up. What do you make of that detail? Is it just description or something more?
Oh, I think it's more. Those boots, they kind of ground him, they connect him to his past, maybe his soldier identity, but also his current hardship. They feel very practical, resilient.
Okay.
And notice how they're immediately contrasted with the hunter's boots.
Yeah.
The fine, shiny boots.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It's like an instant visual cue about their different worlds, or parent worlds anyway.
So the soldier's wandering, ends up in this forest, and spots this well-dressed man, green hunting coat, sitting on a log.
The contrast is immediate, yeah.
And the soldier, without skipping a beat, just walks right up, starts talking about the guy's boots, compares them to his own tough leather ones.
It's such a direct way to start talking to a stranger, isn't it? Almost impertinent.
Yeah, definitely bold.
It tells you a lot about the soldier right away. Maybe he just doesn't see social hierarchies. Or maybe he just doesn't care anymore. He treats this fancy hunter like he'd treat another guy in the barracks.
And that lack of deference, as you call it, that becomes pretty important later on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then comes the universal driver, hunger. The soldier's starving, needs to find food. So he asks the hunter for directions.
And boom, the first little twist.
The hunter's lost too.
Right. What does that do to the dynamic, you think?
Well, it suddenly makes them equals in a way, doesn't it? Lost together.
Exactly. There are apparent differences, social status, whatever. It just melts away in that shared problem.
So the soldier, ever practical, suggests they stick together.
It makes sense, out of necessity maybe, but it also hints at maybe a potential connection there, despite how different they seem.
The story says the hunter gives a little smile at that. So they walk on, night's falling, and they see a light.
A classic setup, hope in the darkness.
Leads them to a stone house. The soldier, still focused on his stomach, asks the old woman at the door for, shelter and food, straight up.
And this is where things get properly dangerous.
Yeah.
Because the old woman tells him flat out, this is a robber's den. Get out of here. Now.
The classic warning that gets ignored, right? Why do you think he ignores it? He must know the danger.
Well, he says it himself, doesn't he? He hasn't eaten in 2 days.
Right.
So the threat of robbers, maybe it feels less real, less immediate than the hunger itself.
Kind of desperate calculation, yeah. He just goes inside. And he drags the hunter with him.
Pulls the reluctant hunter along, yeah.
Calls him brother, too. Come on, brother. Even then.
That casual term, brother,
yeah.
Even facing this danger, it's kind of remarkable.
So the old woman feels sorry for them, hides them behind the big oven. You can imagine the tension there, can't you? Huddled in the dark.
Absolutely. Waiting, listening. And then in storm the robbers. 12 of them, demanding food.
Loud. Probably drunk, dangerous. The old woman brings out this huge roast. And the smell. The story makes a point of the smell hitting the soldier.
That sensory detail is key, I think. It makes what happens next feel almost inevitable.
Yeah, his hunger just completely takes over. Any caution he might have had is gone.
He can't stand it.
No, he just bursts out. Says he's joining them for dinner. The hunter's frantically trying to stop him, whispering.
You can picture the hunter, right? Much more aware of the actual peril. He represents the more, let's say, conventional reaction.
Definitely. The soldier's impulse is just a raw need.
A force of nature, almost.
And then the giveaway. He coughs. Loudly.
Oops.
Robbers hear it, find them behind the oven. Threats start immediately. They're going to hang them.
Standard robber behavior, I suppose.
But the soldier's reaction is just... It's audacious. He demands food first, says he's hungry.
It's almost funny in a dark way. Facing death, And his priority is dinner.
Right. That complete lack of fear, or maybe just that single-minded focus, it throws the robbers off.
It really does. Even their leader is surprised. He actually agrees. This is how, eat first, then we'll hang you.
It's bizarre. So the soldier sits down, digs into the roast, and then he invites the hunter, who's probably still terrified, to join him.
And calls him that nickname.
Yeah. Bruder Wichsteifel. Brother Boot Polish. What's that about, do you think, in that moment?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It refers back to their first conversation about the boots. It's familiar, maybe a bit mocking, but it suggests the soldier sees them as equals now, bonded by this crazy situation. He's still totally oblivious or indifferent to any status difference.
Okay, so he eats his fill, then demands a drink. He's acting like he owns the place.
Not just surviving, but making demands.
And the robber leader, the story says he's in a good mood now, maybe amused. He orders the old woman to bring their best wine.
Yeah, the leader seems almost entertained by the soldier's nerves, like the soldier's sheer audacity is disarming them somehow.
Which leads us to the really fantastical bit.
The magic bottle.
Right. The soldier gets the wine, makes this big show of proposing a toast to the whole gang.
Gives very specific instructions, too.
Mouth open and right hand raised. Takes a big swig himself.
Yeah.
And zap.
They're frozen, like statues, mouths open, arms up.
What do you make of that? The sudden magic.
Well, it definitely shifts the story, doesn't it? From gritty realism sort of into folktale territory.
Yeah.
It's the impossible solution.
Yeah.
Maybe it symbolizes how completely the soldier has disrupted the robber's world, his sheer improbability.
Interesting. So the robbers are frozen. The hunter quite reasonably wants to get out of there. Fast.
Understandable reaction.
But the soldier, nope. He sees an opportunity. Spoils of war, he calls it.
He insists on looting the frozen robbers.
And not just that, he makes Bruder Wichsteifel stay and eat and drink with him among the frozen bodies. For 3 days.
It's such a darkly funny image. He's not just surviving, he's actively enjoying himself in this completely bizarre, dangerous situation. Utterly unfazed.
He really is something else. Finally, after 3 days of feasting, he decides, okay, time to go. Asks the old woman the quickest way to the city.
He's already got a plan forming, hasn't he?
Seems like it, because as soon as he gets to the city, he rounds up his old army buddies.
Which shows, some loyalty there and a bit of strategic thinking. He's not just running away, he's going back to deal with the problem.
Takes them back to the house, uses the magic bottle again, says, "You shall all live."
Unfreezes them.
Only for his mates to jump them, tie them up, throw them on a wagon. Justice, soldier style.
And during all this, there's that little detail. The hunter quietly gives a message to one of the soldiers.
Yeah, what do you suppose that was about? A heads up.
It feels like it, doesn't it? A hint about who he really is, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Setting the stage for the reveal. It's just he's been watching the soldier, maybe deciding how to handle things.
So the robbers are carted off to prison. The soldier turns to the hunter, calls him Bruder Wichsteifel again, suggests they just wander back to the city at their own pace.
Taking it easy after their little adventure.
But as they get close to the city, there's this huge crowd cheering, green branches waving, the royal guard out, a massive celebration.
And the soldier has no idea what's going on.
None at all. He's totally bewildered. He's just been focused on robbers and magic wine.
Understandably confused, yeah.
So he asks the hunter, "What's all this commotion?"
And here it comes.
The big reveal.
Hunter explains the king's been away and he's returning today. That's why everyone's celebrating.
And the soldier asks.
Well, where is the king?
And the hunter says, "Here he is. I am the king." Opens his coat, reveals the royal clothes underneath.
Wow. Just like that. What's the point, do you think, of the king being in disguise all this time?
Well, it lets him see things differently, doesn't it? Experience life outside the palace bubble.
Yeah.
He gets a real, unfiltered look at his people, their hardships.
And meets someone like the soldier? Exactly. Encounters genuine reactions, not just people bowing and scraping. And, in this case, it literally saves his life. He gets this incredibly unique perspective, thanks to being lost with Bruder Wichsteifel.
The soldier, naturally, is stunned, falls to his knees, begs forgiveness for treating him like an equal, and calling him boot Polish.
Understandable shock.
But the king just offers his hand, praises the soldier's bravery, saving his life, dealing with the robbers, promises to take care of him.
It shows the king's character, doesn't it? His graciousness. Maybe the whole experience changed him a bit, too. He recognizes the soldier's courage, his unique skills, even if they were mostly driven by hunger at first.
It's a great resolution. And the final touch, the king invites him to the palace for a roast.
As good as the robber's roast, he hopes.
But with one condition.
Ah, yes. The condition.
Ask permission before making any more toasts with magic wine.
A nice bit of humor to end it, tying it all together.
So quite a journey, from being lost in the woods together
To that bizarre, magical standoff in the robber's den.
and ending with this huge revelation of identity, so many unexpected turns.
Absolutely. And it really does make you think about first impressions, you know?
Definitely. How easily we can judge someone by their clothes or their situation. A king looking like a hunter, a hero looking like a beggar.
And how ordinary people, just dealing with their own problems like extreme hunger, can end up in these completely extraordinary situations. He wasn't trying to be a hero.
Not at all, he just wanted lunch.
Which kind of leads to a final thought maybe for you listening.
Yeah.
If you suddenly found yourself with some unexpected power or influence, maybe like the soldier with his magic bottle for a moment, what kind of surprising or maybe slightly unusual requests might you be tempted to make?
That's definitely something to think about. A good place to leave our deep dive into The King and the Soldier.